people who are like interested in this concept of like deep agents and more thinking agents, but like not everybody talks about it this way. So like if they're looking at different products, like maybe like enterprise platforms, or maybe they're thinking about things that they build, like can you kind of just give the summary of like why would they care about sort of whether it was one approach versus the other, and then how to recognize sort of these different modes?
Maybe I'll start with how to recognize different modes. I mean, I think like I think latency is a big one. Like I think like anything that's generally fast probably isn't doing too much thinking under the hood. It's generally not
Yeah.
going as deep on things. And I don't think that's like necessarily bad. I think it's just good to recognize that that's more of kind of like an assistive thing almost. Like when I use a coding tool in synchronous mode, I'm in the flow. It's not replacing me, it's
Yeah.
augmenting me. It's
Yeah.
very much in there.
Yeah.
On the other hand, when I use something in a more asynchronous mode, if I kick it off via Slack or something like that, it is like replacing the work that like I would have someone else on the team do or that I would do. And so like I think like that's a helpful distinction because like yeah, people will probably call both agents and like sure, fine, but like there is that difference between like almost like synchronous in the flow of things
Yeah.
versus starting to replace things. There's way more of the former like co-pilots and synchronous things.
Yeah.
And I think there, like the thing I'd say is just like have the expectation that this isn't going to replace someone. This is going to augment kind of like the work that they're doing. Whereas the more long running things, it's not going to replace a whole function, but it will let people do more with less. And we see this across a bunch of different industries.
We've talked about before how like maybe in the future all of us are going to be like managers of these
Yes.
agents who are like responsible for their work, but kicking them off and like when then editing their work and so on is like kind of a paradigm that you start to see in some of the coding, like people are very good with AI coding.
I think that's absolutely where the space is headed and like what the exact future looks like. I don't know, but like yeah, I think like you start to become a manager of these agents. It's doing work.